Hello and willkommen auf Brighton. We're not at Gamescom.
No, Ian and Chris are though, and we're not better about it at all.
Coming up this week, Ian sticks his face in Homefront the Revolution with the help of some fancy tech.
And Chris and Ian bring you the latest from Gamescom, where they are, and we are not. But before all that, here's our feature formerly known as Here's Chris, except it's Johnny. Here's Johnny.
What? You know something, this has actually been quite a busy Gamescom, to be honest. After all the concerns about it coming too soon after E3 for publishers to show off anything different, or, you know, Sony not having a press conference at all, we did, in fact, get to see quite a lot of good stuff. More than you could reasonably expect to keep up with, to be honest, which is great, but also overwhelming. So with that in mind, here's a quick fistful of interesting things from Gamescom for your edification. Bungie took loads of levelling stuff out of Destiny and threw it away, only to have Blizzard pick it up, dust it off and put it in the new World of Warcraft expansion, which they unveiled in a livestream presentation that was so lore-heavy I thought I might die. Bungie also quietly announced it's taking Peter Dinklage's voiceover out of Destiny and throwing that away too. Sorry, Dinklebot. Scalebound was properly revealed as expected, and it looks pretty good. Despite the obnoxious protagonist, it seems like there's a proper RPG in there, and you get to boss a dragon around, which is nice. Halo Wars 2 was also announced. Creative Assembly is on board with that one, so it should be fairly interesting. And speaking of Halo, apparently Halo 5 is twice the length of Halo 4, which is either a blessing or a curse, depending on how you feel about Halo campaigns. EA almost managed to outdo its own Pele moment from E3 this year during its press conference when it flooded the stage with dancers taking selfies for the better part of a minute for no discernible reason. But hey, at least Star Wars dogfights look really fun. Also from EA, we got a further look at Mirror's Edge Catalyst, which I played at E3 and thoroughly enjoyed. It showed off a bit more of Faith's origin story and left me wondering why these mega corporations insist on having such easily scalable evil headquarters. I mean, if you're worried about runners, make your buildings bland, surely. Talking of baffling design decisions, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 is now cel-shaded. Yes, they're changing up the art style despite the fact the game is only 2 months out from launch, which feels ballsy, but at least does something about the previous art style, which looked, well, ballsy. Mafia 3 is set in post-Vietnam New Orleans, which is really cool, even if Martin was kind of underwhelmed by the game itself. It's early days though, so hopefully Hangar 13 can pull it back round and turn it into a video game we can't refuse. Have I missed a bunch of stuff? Almost certainly, but then that's the lovely thing about Gamescom. It's an island of things to talk about in the middle of the summer release lull. So if you want to read or indeed see more about Gamescom, check out the website or other videos on our channel. Back to, well, Aoife and me now. Next, Homefront the Revolution had an explosive stage demo at Gamescom this week, but before then, Ian got to visit the studio in person to see what all the fuss was about.
And he insisted on having his photo taken? Narcissistic much?
So I recently popped along to Dambuster Studios in Nottingham to check out their upcoming open world shooter Homefront the Revolution. While I was there, I heard that the art team had been inviting members of the public to audition for NPC roles in the game, with successful applicants being invited into the studio to have their faces scanned and turned into 3D character models. Now, I've never heard of a studio doing something like this before, so I cornered Dambuster's lead character artist Richard Smith and asked him what the hell they were thinking.
Basically, we want to have as many faces in the game as possible, so that when you're walking around in the world, you get to see all the people and see lots of diversity. So we really wanted as wide a pool of faces to draw from as possible. And to do that, we went out to the public so that we could get as many different ages, ethnic backgrounds, builds, obviously male and female, and then we could pick the interesting faces that we wanted for the game.
Now, considering how attractive I am, I thought I would be doing the team a big favour by volunteering to put myself through the face scanning process. I mean, having me in the game is a surefire way to boost sales, and they've probably got just enough time to completely redo one of the main character models in my image. So Richard, how does this all work then?
So we invite the subject into the studio, we go into our scanning suite, and they sit down in front of the 12 cameras, and we use a remote trigger to fire all of the cameras simultaneously. So we get 12 photos of the person's head from many different angles, and we use a piece of software which combines those photos to generate a 3D mesh which we can then give to a character artist who spends some time to clean the mesh and prepare the head for the game.
Looks pretty cool, eh? I've got to tell you, it was a really odd experience seeing a 3D model of myself for the first time. Normally when you look at yourself in mirrors or in photos, you're seeing a flat image. Being able to look upon myself from all these strange new angles was kind of like having an out-of-body experience. This rough model took about 50 minutes to render off, but the art team would need to do a lot of work to it before it would be ready for inclusion in the game. I mean, I look rugged enough already, Richard, but I'm guessing you'll need to add some dirt or some scarring to give me that authentic battle-weary look.
Yes, definitely dirt, definitely scarring. In some cases we've added extra piercings, tattoos, facial injuries, or we've sometimes added more wrinkles to make people look more weathered, like they've been living in a war zone for 5 years, to really push the art direction that we're aiming for.
Alright then, Richard, let's get down to the real reason I'm here. I want my face in your game. What kind of character do you think I could be? I'm guessing one of the most important ones. If not that, then at least one of the big supporting roles.
Potentially downbeat homeless civilian.
A homeless civilian? Richard, I think you need your eyes testing. With that lukewarm response, I'm pretty sure you won't be seeing virtual me pop up in Homefront the Revolution anytime soon, which of course is a tragedy for gamers worldwide. Oh well, before I hand you back to Johnny and Aoife, I'll leave you with an idea of what could have been. Maybe, just maybe, it'll be enough to convince Richard that he's made a terrible, terrible mistake.
All cells across the zone are armed and ready. We just need the targets.
Dana here. We'll get you those locations. As soon as we can reach the KPA transceiver, we'll download the data. Okay, Isaac, get up to that intersection. Make sure it's clear.
Now that the 3D mesh image of Ian's face is forever burned into our hearts and minds, let's check in with him at Gamescom, where he is with Chris, whose desk could really use with a bit of a tidy. Have you seen that thing?
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Ugh.
Okay, Ace, it's actually a quiet bit. Hello, this is World of Warcraft having its next expansion announced. It's called Legion, and it's about the Burning Legion. It's got Khadgar in it, and Demon Hunters are a new playable hero class. I don't even know what hero class means anymore, but it's one of them. And yeah, we decided to come along and see the announcement in person, as did the rest of Germany, by the way. And it's kind of amazing because you read stories this week that say World of Warcraft is down to 5.5 million subscribers, an all-time low. You know, this great MMO is starting to sink. We've been saying that forever. And then you come to this room and you see how many people go freaking crazy when the next expansion is announced. And you start to maybe rethink that a little bit. Anyway, when it did happen, when they announced the name, I tried to find my way to the front of the crowd. So here's what that looked like.
The Burning Legion has returned.
Announced. It's called World of Warcraft Legion, and it's about the Burning Legion. It's got Khadgar in it, and Demon Hunters are going to be a...
Alright, that's about it from us, but don't forget to check out the channel for plenty more from Gamescom.
And more barely contained aggression towards our colleagues. See ya!